Got it. So you've heard it's a hot market, right? Everybody knows it's a hot market. So how do we navigate the market? Let's talk about it from a buyer's perspective, okay? So if you're a buyer right now and you're working with an agent, which you should be, right? But if you've been out in the marketplace trying to buy a house right now, you've probably tried to buy 5 houses and missed out on all 5 of them. Right? That's a pretty normal thing to be happening right now. So let's talk about this from a different perspective so you can get a little bit of reference on how to take advantage of what's going on right now in the marketplace. So there's 2 very different sides of a transaction. The buyer side of the transaction, the listing side of the transaction. So what I find is that agents especially will confuse the obligation here. So if you're going to go through and hire an attorney to get you a divorce, there would be no confusion about the fact that your attorney represents you, the other attorney represents your spouse. And the goals are not aligned when it comes to that. The goals are aligned in the sense of we ultimately want to receive a divorce. But this person's trying to get the most money and this person's trying to get the most money. That's how a business transaction works. In real estate, we forget the business part of the transaction because most real estate people are not business people inherently, which I think is a problem. But let's figure out how you use this as a consumer. Why does this matter, okay? So if you're a buyer, you're working with an agent, most real estate agents, not business savvy people, they believe that any activity that happens inside of real estate that could pay them a commission is what they specialize in, is what they do. You talk to a real estate agent, what do you specialize in? Well, anything I could get paid for. Yeah, I could sell over there, I could sell over here, I could sell this house, I could buy a house, I could list a house. Very different functions, very different skill sets. So here's what you need to know about that. If you're working with a fairly new agent to make an offer on your behalf, as a listing agent, I'm going to look in this marketplace and I'm going to see there's 2-3 offers on a home. I'm going to look at the agent's name. Do I know the agent? It's a small city, Kansas City. The agents that are selling homes are fairly well known. If there's someone's name on a contract, it's likely in 17 years I've seen that name before or I've worked with that person before. So that's not a requirement, but it's something to think about, right? The second piece is I'm going to look at the lender. I'm going to look at the terms. If I don't know any of the people involved, which is highly rare, the last thing I'm going to really heavily rely on is the way that it's written in all the terms of the communication in order to write the deal. And we're judging your offer based on the way that it's presented. So 3 offers come in. Yours is one of them. You're the best buyer. You have the best down payment. You have the best intentions. Been looking for a long period of time. Everything seems to make sense, but you hired the wrong agent, the wrong lender. It's written the wrong way. Your agent communicates incorrectly and sends it in the wrong channels to try to request the offer. And we look at that offer and judge it differently than we do the other 2. And now you don't receive a fair shake, right? So one of the things that we see show up all the time is that's not fair. That's not fair. I have enough money. That's not fair. I wanted the house. In reality, business, and it doesn't mean that it's unfair, and it doesn't mean that it's set up to not favor people in a fair manner. But the fact of the matter is, my job as a listing agent is to be unfair, is to judge each offer based on the merits that I've received. And it's also my job to determine the offer that has the highest likelihood of closing and paying my seller the most amount of money. So again, act like that's an attorney if that helps you. As an attorney, I got to get my client the most amount of money. I want the deal to close. I want this to be over, and I want the client to be happy with the job I did. That is what a real estate agent is supposed to do. Now, all of this stuff where we have to get along, we have to see each other the same way, we have to consider each offer like they're exactly the same in a really super fair way, is just not the way the world works. Just not the way that deals operate. So if you're a buyer, what can you do? What you can do is hire an agent that knows the marketplace. One other benefit to that, we're listing homes every single day, 10 or 12 of them a month. Who is more likely to find your next home in this market than someone who's listing 12 houses a month? We are. So you want to, number one, hire an agent that knows the marketplace and is likely to get in front of listings before they hit the market. Number two, you want to understand that everything that you present about yourself, from the way you write the offer, your agent, the lender who's involved in the transactions, and the terms that you write are going to reflect on your ability to buy this house. The third and last thing is to understand that there's nothing fair about this process. We are going to look at the contract, the terms of the contract, the price, the agent, the lender, and weigh everything out in all of our experience and make a recommendation to the seller to either choose your offer or not. If you have more specific questions about how to look good in the eyes of a seller, contact us directly.